Bengaluru did it again. Once more, nearly half of the citizens of the country's tech hub gave the Lok Sabha elections a miss on polling day on April 26th, with the city recording a total voter turnout of 54.76%. While the long queues in front of polling stations had raised the hopes of a strong voter turnout, this year's figures are in fact marginally lower than Lok Sabha polls 2019. What is behind this trend of poor voter turnout election after election? Are there factors other than urban apathy that are contributing to this phenomenon? What other strategies can the Election Commission undertake to bring about a fundamental change? Namaskara. Welcome to Decode Karnataka, a show where we give you the most incisive analysis on everything you need to know about the state. As April 26 dawned, Bengaluru witnessed thousands of early birds making their way to the polling booth to cast their vote in phase 2 of Lok Sabha polls in Karnataka. Yet, according to the Election Commission, the 3 Lok Sabha constituencies in the city clocked the lowest voter turnout among the 14 that went to polls that day. Bengaluru North registered 54.45%, Bengaluru Central 54.06%, and Bengaluru South 53.17%, all lower than their 2019 figures. Meanwhile, Bengaluru Rural improved its voter turnout with 68.3%, up from 64.90 in 2019. Some say that the heat wave affected the voting spirit in the city, which sweltered at 35 degrees Celsius that day. But data shows that high temperature has little to do with such subdued voting. So what really explains Bengaluru's low voter turnout? For answers, let's head over to Afshan Yasmin, Deputy Editor in the Karnataka Bureau. Experts say there are several reasons for the low voter turnout in BBMP limits. But the top of that list is urban voter apathy. Now, this is common amongst cities globally, but some say that the urban voter apathy, the apathetic urban voter, is a myth. What do you feel? Do you think we should look beyond urban voter apathy when we talk about turnout?
Of course, urban apathy is one of the several factors that have resulted in the low turnout, and this has been a fact ever since the first election in 1952. Bangalore has been throwing up a poor show, except in 1977, wherein the voter turnout was around 60%. Otherwise, in all other elections, the turnout has been in the range of 50%. So, urban apathy is said to be the main reason, but that is not just the reason. Because it's like, the timing of the elections, the errors in the voters list, and also the confusions on the day of voting, and the people not availing the services provided by the EC. Like, there are so many things like that. So when it comes to urban apathy, it's like, the people's attitude on how will my single vote count, whether one vote, if I don't vote, whether it will make any difference. So that attitude has crept in into the people. This is mainly because lack of information about the candidates that they are going to elect. Despite several efforts, many residents of apartments and other gated communities do not know who their candidates are. I mean, of course, the residents' welfare associations and other know your candidate programs and all that, they do arrange, but then there is a disconnect, a political disconnect with the candidates by the residents. Okay. Also, another reason that we have seen and we have learned from the some residents that we spoke to is that, there is a lack of personal appeal by the candidates these days. Okay. There is no door-to-door campaign that is there in the rural areas, but if you come to the urban electorate, they have a distance with the candidates. No door-to-door this thing is happening. Campaigning is happening. Okay. Largely road shows and rallies. Through that personal appeal, that personal this thing with the candidate and the voter, that communication is missing. Okay. So that is one aspect. And coming to the errors in the voters list, I mean, we have seen how every election comes up with complaints of missing names. Correct. Yeah. And like people having confusion on whether they have their booth in their vote in this booth or the other booth. Some people who really want to vote run around the booths, find out where it is on the voting day. They do that. whereas there is a lot of opportunity and scope provided to find out about such confusions, to get your things cleared even before the polling, but people don't bother to.
Okay.
So on the voting day, they say we went there, our name is not there in that list, then we came here. Deletion is a very difficult process. Whereas addition, a person, supposing a resident of a particular area shifts from one area to another area, he doesn't bother to get his name deleted from the old area and that get it added in the new area. That is mainly because deletion is a very cumbersome process.
Okay.
Whereas you can directly just go and add as a new voter in the new area. Also, the floating and migrant population in the city. Bangalore is a cosmopolitan city, so a lot of migrant population here. So they move out from their city, towns and smaller towns, and then settle down here. But their vote would have been there itself. Although they are here. So that is there is a disconnect with the local politics for that population.
Okay.
So one small study done by election analyst Sandeep Shastri in 40 households in some 4 parliamentary constituencies has found that many of those voters who are residing here are not voting here.
Okay.
Or those who are having their names in the list are not residing in Bangalore. They have either moved out of Bangalore or they have moved out of the country itself.
Okay.
But their names are still there in the list.
Okay.
Like that, there are several thousands and thousands of names which should have been deleted. And the list is inflated, and that's a denominator-numerator problem. List is inflated, but the turnout is low because names are not deleted, and the people who go and vote, their numbers do not count so much. Another aspect, last aspect which I wanted to mention about that is affecting the voter turnout is the timing of the elections. This time it was held on a Friday, and people wanted to since it gets along with the long weekend, they want to plan getaways and get out of Bangalore. So just leaving behind their civic duty of exercising their franchise. This is one of the important aspects that is affecting voter turnout.
Okay. Okay. So, let's move on and just let's take the case of Bengaluru South. This is, our star poor performer has had a poor voter turnout in all 3, the previous elections, 2018 Assembly, 2019 Lok Sabha and 2023 Assembly. And it has registered a little over 53%, consistent in its poor track record. But the EC has been doing so much to sort of improve voter awareness and improve voter turnout. But what makes Bengaluru urban so difficult to crack? What is the EC doing wrong and what can be done better?
Yeah, see, just because of this, to cater to this sector of the voters, the EC had this time come up with an idea of printing QR codes on the voter slip, because there is an excuse that we don't know where a polling booth is, we don't know how to reach the polling booth. So the EC printed QR codes on the voter slips that were distributed to voters a week or 10 days before the elections. So just scan the QR code and you are navigated to the polling station. And also the EC has used the technology, they came up last year itself, they developed the Chunavana app, and wherein the voter will get a queue and parking status at the polling booth, details about that on a real-time basis. But I don't know how many voters actually use these new aspects that the EC came up with. So had all of us for that matter, because this time we saw that 2 hours people were standing who were actually keen and enthusiastic to vote, stood in long queues and voted and then went back.
Okay.
Whereas some people just heard about the queues and didn't turn up.
Okay.
So they should have used the technology what was available and seen the queue status, and then that's what the EC had done. It had set up voter facilitation desks also at the polling booths, to help if there is a cluster in a particular building, cluster polling booths location, they had set up a desk to guide people.
Okay.
But all these efforts, I don't know how to how much people actually, to what extent they used it.
Okay.
So
was the involvement of technology a deterrent because not many people have access to, say, smartphones?
No, in Bangalore South, we have the light class staying there. And so
True, yeah.
all the IT, the Mahadevpura, Bomnahalli belt and all that IT, the professionals and all that. But we don't know. I don't think that is a barrier or something, but it wasn't properly utilized by the voters. And also, what more the EC can do is probably, I mean, of course, it is an optional measure that they can take, because they have been trying to do it, but not many are linking of your voter card with the Aadhaar.
Okay.
So that is an optional thing and a long debatable issue. But
Mm.
if that is done, then the duplication of voters in the list will be minimized to a large extent,
Okay.
because one Aadhaar number can be linked to just one voter
Voter.
ID. So I don't know to how much, because that is an optional. It cannot be mandated by the EC.
So the other interesting thing is that this time rural women came out in larger numbers than women in the urban pockets. For instance, in the Bengaluru rural Lok Sabha seat, the urban assembly segments of Rajarajeshwari Nagara, Anekal, and Bengaluru South had recorded about 61% voting, while rural segments had about 83% women polling. So, what explains this? What is leading to this?
Yeah. This time it has like seen the government's guarantee schemes, the ruling government's guarantee schemes have come as a big inspiration for the rural women to come out and vote. Also, the rural women are more, I mean, I feel they are more connected with because they are men in the families are also like having more affiliations to the political parties and the candidates, whereas the urban women have a disconnect with the candidates. Like I said earlier, here in urban areas, that door to door and that personal appeal with the voters is lacking to a large extent. Whereas in rural areas, the women are more that people visit their homes door to door, and there is a social connection with the candidates.
Okay.
They organize all these Ur Habbas and Utsavas and then temple religious programs wherein everybody attend, and then they actually are connected.
Okay.
They feel connected. That's how they come out and vote. And of course, the guarantee schemes is a big inspiration this time.
Is it social or political disconnect, discrepancies in electoral rolls, or do people just not care? The answers are varied to Bengaluru's voter turnout conundrum. For more such analysis, tune in to Decode Karnataka with me, Nalme Nachiyar, every week. Follow The Hindu for more such stories and videos.